everyone. Welcome to the American Sports Connection. I'm your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. I'm here with my buddy Ryan Ennis. Ryan, how's it going, man?
I'm chilling like a villain. How you doing?
Good, man. The weather, minus the humidity, the weather's not so bad. It's supposed to, I think, get in the 60s here on Sunday.
Yeah, it's a bit comfortable here, so I am not complaining one bit. I'm sitting in a hoodie right now, so
Are you really? Is it that chilly up there?
There's definitely like a bit of a chill in the air. Plus, I have like my windows open, and there's always a strong like draft into the apartment. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's comfortable, but I love my hoodie, bro. I'll throw it on the first opportunity.
My sinuses and like allergies are so bad I can't open the windows. Otherwise, I'd be like coughing like this all day.
Yeah, that's what happens if I keep the windows closed.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Because it's not so much an allergy, it's just stale air.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the window open.
Well, that's good. Since we last chatted, I had a fun time up at Pro Wrestling Magic last Saturday in Ridgefield Park, which is more up your way.
Oh, that's cool.
Like,
how was the show?
Good. I got to see a dude that I'm pretty friendly with, Mance Warner. You'll probably be hearing a lot more of him in the next 6 months to a year, because I think MLW is going to bring him in at some point.
Well, that's
I think
good then.
he's going to be a really big, I guess you would say star, yeah, because he's got a lot of charisma.
Yeah, that's the guy that was in the picture of that you posted, right?
Yeah, the one where we're being silly.
Yeah, something Bud Lights and Lariats.
Yeah, Lariats and light beers, that's his thing. He sounds just like Stone Cold when he talks.
Does he? Got that grizzly voice.
He's like, hey!
And that's even when he's talking not in character?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Like, he sounds just like him.
That's funny.
So that's why I always get a kick out of it. But when I was talking to him Saturday, he literally drove. It was either Friday night or Saturday morning. He drove from Indiana to here.
Wow. That's a pretty crazy drive.
Welcome to the
Indiana.
life of independent wrestling.
Yeah, man, I'd say.
Because it was funny. I gave him a ASC shirt, and he goes, "Thank you, baby." He's like, "When I get home, I'll put a picture of it up on Twitter." So when I woke up Sunday morning, he had taken a picture of him sleeping in a Wawa parking lot.
That's funny.
Because he's like, "I don't like you, Wawa. I'm a Sheets guy," but he's like, "We'll make this work for right now."
That's funny. Yeah, I seen him. He had the ASC shirt on, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
But a lot of crazy stuff happened this week with Hell in the Cell and everything. Did you get to see the whole show?
Yeah. I never thought you could have a show be great and awful simultaneously.
Well,
And that's what I feel about that show. It was both really good and awful at the same time.
it was to me what happened. I thought the show, like you said, was really good up until I would say the last two matches.
Yeah. I did not like the ending of the Braun and
Well, this is
Roman.
my thing. If you're gonna have a match like Hell in a Cell, to me, it's no DQ. Basically, anything goes. You have to have a winner, and then you don't have a winner.
Yeah. I have a problem with that. It's like having a Royal Rumble and let somebody land outside and get back in, and have a second chance. You can't make the rules up as you go along.
Yeah.
They do that with ladder matches all the time. Not ladder matches, cage matches where there would be different sets of rules. Sometimes the door is fucking chained shut. Sometimes it's only pinfall or submission. Like, that's not a no, a cage is two men locked in and one guy climbs out.
I personally hate when you have a cage match and they say you have to pin the guy.
I mean, I'm okay with it being a way to win. But I'm also more about two men in the cage, no referee.
That's what I mean. I want to just see, like, old school. It's you either climb out of the cage or go out the door. That's, like, the only way to win.
Yeah, but the bullshit no contest, I'm not for that.
Like Lance said, the crowd was chanting. I'm sure you've probably seen the video of it after it. This is bullshit.
Yeah, but how many times have WWE fans done that and very little changes? So much so that now they cut the feet off to make sure that it doesn't make air.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. It truly is. I mean, but look, here's their argument. And for anybody who really wants to say WWE doesn't know what they're doing, you may need to reevaluate. Their stock is the highest that it's ever been before.
And that's so weird to think about because the ratings are in the tank.
But there's more than...
I was just going to say that it's more than just cable ratings now.
And it's more than just U.S. cable ratings. They make a lot of money in international markets. There are shows that we get on the network, but they get on TV, like Main Event and stuff.
And Superstars, right?
If they still film Superstars, but yeah, they were the ones who would get like Jack back in the day.
Yeah.
I think one was called Metal.
Yeah. That's where like AJ Styles was on back in the day.
Yeah. It's like one step below Velocity.
That's true too. Like Lance said, the Saudi Arabia deal has sent their stock through the roof.
That's a lot of money. I mean, but with that comes, a lot of criticism because of the regime in Saudi Arabia.
That and the Fox deal.
Oh, the Fox deal, see, but this is what everybody does. They say Fox deal. They forget they also renewed with USA for about the same amount of money for SmackDown.
Was it the same amount?
They were both over $1 billion. I think one was like maybe 1.15, the other one was 1.3.
Okay.
But they were definitely in the same ballpark because I think it was like almost a total of $3.5 billion worth of 5 years of television.
Whew.
But like obviously they know what they're doing because the company is in the best financial position that it's ever been in. Here he's hated. Internationally he's loved. I got these these Yemeni guys here. They're not wrestling fans. They know WWE, but that's it. They don't know about fucking internet wrestling stuff. They don't know shit about indie
They just
wrestling.
know the brand.
They turn on the TV, they see wrestling, they turn it off. It's like you knowing about any actor's life. You wouldn't know any of that shit for anything else other than wrestling. You probably know more about wrestling stuff than sports stuff.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So, for them, Roman Reigns. I love Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is great. Roman Reigns never loses. The big dog. And overwhelmingly, he's the favorite because of how he's presented in these other markets. They don't care about the same things we do.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you've gone on a lot of their, like, WWE's Facebook and seen that.
Bro, it's all other countries. Typically India and, like, Arabic people for whatever reason. But they have a lot of international support. And with us living here, we always forget that there is a whole other world that isn't the United States, and they all are worth money to a company.
No, you're right.
Here it may make people upset, but it makes the money. I mean, like, I stop questioning them the more I hear that they're constantly hitting an all-time high with their stock. That means people are making the right decisions for what's best for business.
I knew I should have bought that stock a year ago.
Bro, I know it. Bro, you have no fucking idea. Bro, how long have I been talking about how much WWE stock would go up, and I never made a move on it? Since before
I had
the network.
some, like, years ago when it first came out, but I sold it in the early 2000s.
Bro, that stock, like a year and a half ago, was fucking trash. Like, when me and Ryan Clark had that big argument.
Yep.
Over that stock it may have been in the single digits. $8.
Yeah, it was like $9-10 a stock.
Yeah.
Now it's what, like almost $100?
The last time I heard it, it was 50 something. If it's almost 100, holy, like now I kind of want to go jump off of a bridge.
Hang on a second. Yeah, it's $90.10.
What?
That's as of close today.
What? Holy shit!
Yeah.
And now, for anybody out there who may not understand how that works, say I took $100 2 years ago and bought 10 shares. That means I have $100 worth in 10 shares that are $10 each. I now have $1,000.
Wait a minute. Let me just give you an example. It was around $20 at the end of 2017.
And it was even lower than that when that financial report hit, because it had 30 had been its highest. I remember that, and then it dropped down.
Because I'm looking at the chart, and it was the lower here it is. The 52-week low was $21.22.
Yeah, but this wasn't last year that they had to. It was the end of the first year of the network.
I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, but still, even.
But no, in the last year, it's gone up like $70.
Yeah, 300%. That is ridiculous.
Lance just said the same thing. He said, "I'm kicking myself because he almost bought $1,000 worth."
Yeah, wow.
When it was like $20 a share.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have made some serious cash, bro.
Yeah. Well, that would have been a lot of money because each share would have gone up 10 times.
I would have cried like a little girl.
Well, right now it's gone up 9 times from 10 to 90.
Well, and it doesn't look like it's having any chance of slowing down.
Yep, I have no money now.
No, I'm just talking in general.
Well,
but I enjoyed Hell in a Cell for the most part.
Yeah, I don't think it was a bad pay-per-view. I hated the ending, and unfortunately the ending is what follows you. That's the last image you have. And for me, a match that was semi-enjoyable got pretty ruined.
Well, that, and then the other thing I didn't like was, and I think it's they just don't have good chemistry together, is Ronda and Alexa.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking either one of them. I just don't think they work well together.
Yeah. It was flat. It was very flat. I think they're very limited with what they can do with Ronda.
I agree with that too, Lance. He said the red cell was the thing that bothered him.
Oh, I love that. That may have been my favorite thing all night.
He said it looked like it was plastic.
I've read. Have you read the reason why the color change?
Vince just wanted to change it up.
Apparently, it's a hell of a lot safer. There's a lot more rubber around that cage. That's because I think with last year with Big E and one of the Usos both slamming their heads into the support brackets. I think now the inside is rubber and it helps block that.
So they don't. Would they get like concussions or something?
No, I just think that they slam their heads into it, and in this day and age, that you want to take precautions to make sure that this shit doesn't happen.
Well, yeah, it's true.
So, but apparently it's because it's a lot safer of a sell.
Yeah, that's true. Chris said, well, that didn't do Orton any favors.
Bro, that bothered me. Like that.
Well, I know you're squeamish with blood.
Well, not just the blood, the whole ear thing. That was just like, man.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And
like that was a bit much. Like I was like,
I thought it was, after I watched it, I thought it was comical in the sense of all the awful things I've seen, that bothered me.
Well, and then just seeing like his fucking skin hanging off was just like that's not even being squeamish. That's just like, yo, bro. Because I know how that happened. That was the chair coming down on him.
Yep. And that was a fantastic match.
Which one?
Orton and Jeff.
Yeah. No, I actually really enjoyed it.
The only thing I didn't care for was the ending.
I truly do not remember how it ended.
The one where he's on the top of the cell swinging like a monkey.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No big deal for me. I didn't really think it was anything. I mean, I'm glad because, I get scared. Like, I was legitimately afraid for Jeff Hardy.
Yeah,
like,
well, because you know, dude, he's crazy.
Yeah, he really is. And I
don't think people realize how badly beat up he is.
Yeah, yeah. But the fact that he retired before his brother is what boggles my mind. I mean, but that his brother retired before him.
Yeah.
Like,
because
that boggles my mind.
I'm trying to remember. Recently, I read that he has restless leg syndrome.
Doesn't it only affect you when you sleep? Like, I mean, is it that debilitating of a thing? Because I genuinely don't know.
It's basically, the way I understand it, when you go to lay down or sleep, your legs twitch.
Oh, well, I mean, he's not really going to die from that.
No, but it's more, I think, of an annoyance than anything.
Oh, he'll live.
But no, I just think he either needs to slow down or be like his brother and just retire.
To think that when him and Orton are fighting, he's the veteran by a considerable amount of time.
Yeah.
Like that's so weird to think about. Like, because Jeff Hardy was always the kid, like the young guy.
Now he's the old man.
But that he's a veteran, even over Cena. He's more of a veteran than Cena.
Well, he's been around since like Hall and Nash were there.
What do you mean, Hall and Nash?
They were like job guys back then.
Well, yeah, but as far as being like contracted on the show,
like 99,
I think maybe even before that,
98,
because they started to really, because they've had some really fucking great, like the TLC matches, the triple ladder match.
They've done some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it was 98.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right, because that was Mania 15.
That's crazy. Like, that feels like so long ago.
Doesn't it, though? Because that was the last Mania that was in Philly. I'll never forget it, because I was a sophomore in high school at the time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now, I know you wanted to talk about this, one of the few things that you liked on Raw. And I agreed with you when we talked about this off air that this has the potential to be really good. Lio Rush being Bobby Lashley's mouthpiece.
Yeah, I really thought that was like the most entertaining part of the entire show. I think he has charisma. But I think that you need to get him over, get people to like him before they turn him heel.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he'll get the chance if people don't get to know him first. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just strange because he's kind of like being the heelish guy, and then Lashley's supposed to be the quote-unquote good guy.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll definitely see what happens with that. But I'm interested in that. Like I said off air, I see him as like the Enzo Amore type, but with talent. You know, that's just the way it is.
Yeah. From what I understand, they're trying to get more 205 Live guys on Raw that way.
In what way?
Having them be mouthpieces or manager types for other guys.
Yeah, I heard something similar. I think it's a good idea.
Well, the reason, from what I understand, is because, like, if you're on 205 Live, you only work so many days a month. Like, considerably less. And they want to, I guess, get more on their investment.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
I don't disagree. No, I mean, like, plus it gets them on TV. It gets people to see them.
Yeah. Well, did you see that they actually moved 205 Live to a different day now?
No.
Yeah, they moved it to Wednesday because of the Mixed Match Challenge.
Huh.
Because the
the
Mixed Match Challenge comes on after SmackDown, and the way I understand it is 205 Live is the lead-in now to NXT on Wednesdays.
Huh, interesting.
Which I actually like.
No, I'm just trying to think.
The one that doesn't work for me, though, is Rockstar Spud with the Authors of Pain. That's just weird.
Yeah. Again, like, we'll see where that all goes. Because I'm definitely curious.
I'll say this, though, and you know if I'm saying it, it's legit. I think Corbin might have had his best match I've ever seen on Raw this week.
I actually didn't watch the end of Raw this week. I actually fell asleep while I was watching it. I was just exhausted.
Yeah, him and Reigns had like a fantastic match.
Huh.
It was just, how do I want to say it? Like the lead up to everything and the way like they did stuff was just kind of hokey. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
That I particularly didn't care for.
I mean, I think he's coming around. I have for a while. I've kind of been a Corbin fan a lot more lately.
Yeah, like Lance said, what bizarro world are we in? I'm complimenting an Orton and a Corbin match.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was surprising.
Hey, I mean, if I don't like someone, I'm not going to like them, but if they're going to pull out, you know, a good match, I'm not going to shit on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree fully. No,
I will say this.
Science is at the heart of biology.
Sorry, I opened a page and it wanted to start talking. I was, speaking of Hell in a Cell, I was super surprised that they let Becky beat Charlotte. And not only beat her, but beat her clean.
Yeah, I don't know. I was happy with that ending. Although I didn't think the match was that great.
It really wasn't, but the other thing that surprised me is how they basically embarrassed Charlotte on SmackDown, where like Becky almost like kept rubbing it in.
I mean it's.
No, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I'm like, wow, like this is pretty good.
Yeah, no, I definitely like heel Becky.
Yeah.
So,
thank you, Lance, for reminding me. He said something and I just remembered it. I don't know if you saw this. Abyss is going to be inducted into the Impact Hall of Fame.
I think that is fantastic. I truly do.
I can say this without question. Abyss is one of the nicest, quote unquote, name guys I've ever met. Like, he doesn't use his, hey, I'm, me, and, you know what I mean? Like, his stature to, like, talk down to people.
That's great, then.
Yeah, like, he's super cool to, like, everybody. So, yeah, I'm really excited for him. He's the last original, I believe.
He's the only original.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah. That's actually kind of pathetic. That they haven't done anything more with him. I mean that the Hall of Fame is mostly former WWE guys, and he's the first one.
No, I agree with you that they should have done a hell of a lot more with him because he's the only guy that stayed there the whole time.
Yeah. Supposedly he turned down a main event with The Undertaker to stay with the company at WrestleMania.
Yeah, because he was loyal.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he'll ever go to WWE, Lance. I think he's too loyal. Because, like Ryan just said, he had a chance. I can't remember what WrestleMania it was. He could have wrestled The Undertaker on Mania, and right before it was supposed to happen, he backed out. Because he was too loyal to Impact. If I remember correctly. But no, I'm happy for him that they're at least recognizing him.
No, he deserves it more than anybody else who's gone in so far for a TNA Hall of Fame or an Impact Hall of Fame.
I'll tell you this, dude. When you see him up close and the way he walks, you can tell he's really put his body through hell. Because I guess you would say he walks kind of funny. Like, he doesn't necessarily walk normal. Whatever normal is. But
well, I can imagine with the kind of matches he's had and the kind of career he's had. I mean, he's done some really roughneck shit, bro.
Yeah, he's done some violent shit. And he's a big guy. He's like 6'5". You don't realize, I guess, and maybe it's me, and I don't know how you feel about this, you don't realize how big someone is on, like, TV until you, like, see them up close. Like, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, like, how do I put it? I know how large of a human being Kevin is, so I kind of proportion people like that, and this is the God's honest truth. So if I hear, like, somebody's, like, 6'3", 250 pounds, I'm like, oh, he's about Kevin's size. And then I know how big Kevin is.
Yeah, like, the one that I was shocked by, and I guess it's just because I've never seen him up close, is Sting.
Sting's a big boy.
I didn't realize it until, like, you physically see him up close.
No, Sting was always, like, Hogan's size.
He's, like, 6'4".
Yeah. Sting was always up there with Hogan. Like, when I was a kid, I loved the statistics of all of the wrestling. Who was how tall, who was how fat.
I used to have a book as a kid, and it would be, like, a picture of Hogan, his weight, his height, where he's from, and, like, everybody.
So, for the most part, like, that never really surprised me. It's Alexa Bliss being as small as she is, I think 5 foot, like how tiny 5 foot really is, like that's kind of mind blowing.
Yeah, kind of the same thing with Paige. I didn't realize how tiny she was until you see her up close.
Is she that small?
Yeah, she's really tiny. And, like, more so height-wise and kind of... Like, she's in fantastic shape the last time I saw her. But she... Cool. And I hate to sound like a dude when I say this, but... The camera doesn't do her justice with, like, how pretty she is when you see her up close.
No, you don't sound like a creep.
Yeah, no, she's just really, really pretty.
Oh, yeah, that's what a lot of people say. I don't know. Maybe she just looks too English for me.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that. No, I don't mean that in a bad way, but like all my family looks Irish and English, and it was like I never wanted to marry an Irish girl because to me they all look like my cousin, an Irish and English.
No, I understand what you're saying. When you would look at them, you just thought of your family.
Yes, and for anybody who gets offended, I found out I'm like 20% English, so.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. You're not saying it in an offensive way. I totally get it.
Yeah, I know that Dean may be listening. I know I don't want him to be like, oh, what's wrong with English women?
There's nothing wrong with them. Well, here's some news I had mentioned to you off air. Pentagon and his brother Phoenix are not going to be signing with WWE. Court Bauer, isn't he the one that does Stone Cold's podcast?
Yes.
I thought that's who that was.
That's how I know about him.
I understand, he either owns MLW or is the main person that runs MLW. He put out a tweet. I think it was this past week that he had signed both of them to MLW contracts till the end of 2019 because they're their tag champions.
Well, I mean, if they're getting paid well, then good for them. Like I said before, I'm not always thrilled with the idea of people going to WWE because like they have so much talent right now. I don't know how fair it would be.
No, I agree with you.
Like you can't market all of these guys that you have already. I mean, and then like you're gonna have guys you just don't see on TV anymore soon. Like you can't have a show where in one match you have Kona Reeves and then in another match you have the Undisputed Era and Pete Dunne. Like,
and that's not a knock on him.
No, it's not. It's just that if this is the kind of talent you have, like you can't have somebody who's completely, totally, and utterly green. Tino Sabatelli and Riddick Moss being like another.
Well, to be honest with you, and this is my personal opinion, I almost feel like they're gonna have to split off into another brand now, where it's like not NXT, but it's like developmental for guys like the ones you just named.
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely, extremely possible.
The only reason I say it is because NXT is basically like its own brand now that has like the people you mentioned. Keith Lee is on there, Aleister Black, all these big names, and initially that's not what it was supposed to be.
No, you got all of these amazing guys now.
And now guys that really do need the time, like Sabatelli and Riddick Moss and Street Profits and whomever else, they're not really getting that time.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's why I always wondered if they were gonna at some point maybe send those guys to Evolve.
See, that's an idea. Like, that's definitely an idea. And I don't think it's a bad idea at all.
No, because Velveteen Dream just wrestled there recently.
Yeah.
Because they have some really good talent there.
Do they?
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, good guys there. Like, you would know him as Killshot is their world champion.
Oh, that's cool.
I was going to say his name is Shane Strickland, but you wouldn't know him as Shane Strickland.
No.
I'm trying to remember because there's a bunch of like talented guys there. And honestly, I always feel like if you're in Evolve, that's like one step away from WWE.
Yeah.
Because they kind of like work hand in hand.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that.
And from what I understand, The guy that runs Evolve, his name's escaping me. But
Gabe.
Yeah, Gabe Sapolsky.
Okay.
He works with NXT now. Like, he does something behind the scenes with them.
Oh, interesting.
Because he used to do stuff for ECW back in the day.
Huh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, him and Heyman used to work together.
Oh, that's right. He was like Heyman's like protege, right?
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah, I remember that.
No, but I personally think that's what they should do. Like, well, Lance has an interesting idea. He says to let him wrestle on house shows or dark matches.
Yeah. You know, I mean, oh wait, who? Like Tino Sabatelli?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I know they work the NXT house shows.
Yeah, maybe that, but even that gives like the wrong impression. But yeah, no, I guess so.
Because
I just hate Sabatelli.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they need to get out there in front of people and just do it.
I agree.
You know what I mean? That's the only way they're going to get better.
No, I fully agree.
Because, I mean, you can't, really hold them back. It's only going to stunt their growth.
No, I agree with you.
Did you see NXT's doing War Games again? I don't know if they're actually going to have the match, but they're calling it NXT War Games.
Oh, I'm sure they're going to have the match if that's what they're calling it.
It's going to be the night before Survivor Series, so I'm intrigued to see who they're going to put in it.
Yeah, that ought to be interesting.
Yeah, for those that are listening, if you don't want to hear a spoiler, cover your ears now. Apparently, Bobby Fish returned. I don't know if he can completely wrestle, but he returned last night and attacked somebody during one of Undisputed Era's matches.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I always liked Bobby Fish.
I'm glad he can get back and wrestle. I liked him and O'Reilly, and it's going to be interesting seeing the four of them together now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No, I'm cool with that.
Chris, I can't see that happening, especially with the Fox deal now. He's saying he wishes that they would move SmackDown to 3 hours to accommodate the talent on the show. I can't see them doing that, one, because if I remember correctly, the Fox deal upcoming is only for 2 hours.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure because all the local affiliates do their news at 10 o'clock on Fox.
Huh, I didn't hear that, but that's interesting.
Because I'll give you an example. Here because I'm considered the Philly market, at 10 o'clock they have the nightly news.
Oh, interesting.
Instead of 11.
Well,
that'd be interesting if he's
it may
saying
need to be afterwards.
If they did it 7 to 10 SmackDown as opposed to 8 to 10.
But SmackDown is not switching to Fox.
I thought it was SmackDown that was switching.
I thought it was their flagship show was switching.
No, I'm pretty sure it's SmackDown.
Oh.
Hold
Okay,
on, I'll
well,
tell you exactly. I'm almost positive.
You're probably right.
It's all good. We're getting old.
I just don't care.
Yeah. It's SmackDown. Friday,
Okay, yeah.
October 19th, 2019.
Alright, so yeah, we got a year to go. Right?
Yeah, and probably NXT will be on FS1.
See, that I'm for. Like, that I'm very heavily for.
I'm intrigued by that.
How so?
Because you're going to get more faces on the NXT product.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm just very happy with this all.
Yeah, no, and I just want to see what kind of ratings they can pull.
No, I think they will be very successful. I think they will be extremely successful once people get to see the product.
That I agree with. Question, did you watch the Mick Foley special on the network?
No.
About Hell in the Cell?
No.
It's really good. I would definitely check it out. It's him doing his stand-up, but it's him talking about the whole Hell in the Cell story.
Yeah, I may have to check that out. I mean, other than watching old wrestling, I haven't been watching...
I haven't either. I had 2 people tell me that it was like really good that they watched it. So I was like, well, let me check it out. And then they were right.
No, I'm glad. I gotta check that out then.
Yeah. I will say this. The one gripe I have with WWE right now is I feel they have too many shows like crammed together. What I mean is they're kind of like promoting the Australian show, the women's Evolution show, and then they just started promoting Crown Jewel. Like it's too much all kind of bundled together, I feel.
The men get their pay-per-view and the women get theirs.
Yeah, it's true because they won't be able to go to Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
That I wouldn't be opposed to, Chris. There's been a rumor going around that they would take main roster guys and put them back into NXT.
It would, for me, it would depend on how it was done.
And who it is.
Yeah. And for what purpose? Like, if you're gonna take somebody and really try to reinvent them, I'm for that. But to keep them as a jobber, like, you have to have a plan for somebody to do that, because you're taking up a spot for somebody who could be growing on to have a career. So if you're gonna give that to somebody, fucking know where you want that thing to go.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I just think it's fair to all parties. But yeah,
I know. I don't think it was taped, but I know Luke Harper worked an NXT show recently.
Huh, that's interesting.
He wrestled Ricochet.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah, I said I would have liked to have seen that.
And that really does sound interesting.
Because in my
he's
opinion,
so good.
Yeah, in my opinion, he's one of the most underutilized talents they have.
Yeah, I think I could agree with that.
Because I would say I think Harper can have a pretty good match with just about anybody.
Yeah, no, he's good. He can move for a big man. He has like that in-ring charisma. Like, he doesn't need to be able to cut promos. He looks the part.
Yeah. I always felt bad where I was like, I wish they would have put him in the main event with Bray and Orton. It might have helped them out a little bit.
Yeah, that would have been interesting, and then it would have given him a little bit of experience.
Totally. I don't know what it is. They just don't like using him as a single guy for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's a shame. He's going to be out a while now, off of TV, because of his partner.
Yeah. Because he had like shoulder surgery, I think.
Yeah, he's all fucked up. But yo, he worked that last match that they had injured, which is crazy.
That's what I was going to say. Props to him for gutting it out.
Yeah, because that shit's fucking crazy.
Because he, hold on, I'll tell you exactly what was wrong with him. He tore his bicep.
Yeah, and then he had a whole wrestling match after that.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Especially because he went through the tables and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, he's crazy. Like, that's nuts.
Yeah, because he's, from what I'm reading here, he's going to be out 4 to 6 months.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Lance, I agree with you that I wish they would split them up, but it seems like they never know what to do with Harper or Rowan when they're not together.
Nope.
Because remember the one time they did, he was with like the Authority or something, Harper, and he won the Intercontinental title for like a brief minute.
Yeah, I remember him winning the title. I don't remember what the storyline was.
It was something with the Authority, and then he had like a fantastic ladder match with Dolph Ziggler.
Yes, that I remember.
And it's just like after that, it was like nothing. And
yeah,
the
then they
crazy
had
thing
the.
is, dude, we were talking about the thing with Bray and them. The people were like really behind Harper at that time.
Yeah, yeah, and then they had that whole stupid angle where Rowan, not the whole thing with Mr. Perfect's son. He attacked him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm still in the Royal Rumble."
Yes.
And then that went nowhere. All of a sudden, they're like friends again.
Yeah, it was weird. We didn't talk. I think it was this week that it happened. Did you? I think you told me about it. The Matt Hardy retirement video.
Yeah. Who would have thought that it would have been Matt retiring before Jeff?
Yeah, I'm just honestly, when I found out what's wrong with him, I'm glad that he's going home.
No, I agree.
And I remember the first thing you told me when you watched that video.
What?
You're like, look at the way he's walking. I'm so glad he's retiring.
Oh, yeah. Just watching him in the ring had gotten painful.
Yeah.
Sorry, my wife just handed me dinner.
You're fine. What's on the menu?
Get this, I'm having turkey burgers. Me, of all people.
I've never had one.
They're not terrible. I mean, my wife kind of dolls it up a little bit. So it's not just bland-ass turkey burger. And then we got some, like, habanero something barbecue sauce. So it's good.
That's interesting. All right.
Okay.
Good.
Go ahead. I would say, I know Chris wanted to mention Sasha Banks being hurt for the Mixed Match Challenge and what's going on with that, but, bro, I got no idea. Like, this whole thing seems to be a train wreck already. This is the second team that the female on the team got hurt.
Yeah.
With the first being Alexa. And for those who think that, like, Ronda is sloppy, Ronda's being asked to do a martial art. You can only do a martial art one way, the right way. And sometimes people get hurt that way. There's no safe way, I mean, there's a safe way to do it. And she's an Olympian. She's not going to make a mistake. Not doing basic throws like that. She's probably done that, these moves that she's doing to people now, literally 100,000 times in her life. I mean, like, she went to the Olympics because of this.
Yeah, so if you're going to blame anyone, blame, creative and such for telling her to do it.
Yeah, blame whoever wants her to wrestle like she's a UFC fighter and wants her to do judo stuff.
Because that's just no joke.
No. Because you're using the person's weight against them, and it's all about leverage.
I was going to say, and if you don't go, you're going to go whether you want to or not.
Yeah. And that was the basis with a lot of our throws was, okay, if you're not going to go, then, like, I'm just going to either break your arm or you're going to go with it.
Yeah, and it's not going to be pretty. And I've heard rumors about that, too, that Alexa could have nerve damage in her arm.
I mean, it's very possible, but I'll tell you this right now. Anybody who doesn't believe me can go Google this. Go Google Ronda Rousey armbar when she was in the UFC.
It's
and
way worse.
Well, now it's not even an armbar. What she does is she's just pulling the arm at this point. It's to make it look like it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
look at where the elbow
leverage.
is. There is no leverage. Wrestling's fake. But it's so fake, she doesn't even put a proper armbar on.
Yeah, no. What I mean is she's just leaning back.
Yeah, the elbow isn't where it's supposed to be either. The whole arm is turned. When you do an armbar, the point of the elbow is facing down, not sideways, not catty corner, straight down, so that when you bend the arm, you're putting the pressure straight up on, like you're bending the elbow joint the wrong way. Look at what she does in the WWE. It's like it's like a grapevine of the arm.
Yep.
She's not extending anything. And that one thing where Alexa it looked like her arm was broken. She's widely known to be double jointed.
Oh, she's done that. She's done that a bunch of times.
Yeah, she wouldn't have been wrestling any time in the immediate future had she genuinely dislocated her elbow.
No, I agree with you.
Not even close.
I haven't heard what happened to Sasha.
I haven't heard it either. I just heard she was out.
I had just read that today.
Yeah, I seen it come up on my feed. I was like, what the fuck?
Hang on a second. Because I found on 411 Mania, she commented about being out. Hold on. Oh, she didn't say what exactly happened. No, I haven't. I can't find anything.
Did she wrestle Monday?
I don't know.
On Raw? I'm trying to remember what she did on Raw. Because I'm pretty sure she was on Raw. I could be wrong because I've been watching.
I think you're right.
I've been watching not all pay-per-views, but pay-per-views from earlier this year, so I may be completely off and just be thinking about something else. But I thought she was on Raw this week.
Yeah, Chris said she was.
Okay. I don't know, man. I mean, things just happen. I mean, wrestling's a dangerous thing. I mean, people get hurt, I mean, I know, I joke and, people say, oh, wrestlers are fragile. No. I mean, take one bump and get up and take another bump, and then get up, take another bump. This shit hurts. The fact that they're a wrestler to begin with proves that they're not fragile.
Yeah. But before we get out of here for tonight, Rye, what are you up to this weekend?
Mount Vernon is having this comic expo tomorrow, and if any of you listening are in the New York area, you can come by and meet Fala and KM from Impact. We will be there signing autographs from 11 till 3. It's the Mount Vernon Public Library in Mount Vernon, New York. And yeah, you probably could just Google where it is and find it and get there.
Be there.
Or be square.
As the kids say. That sounds like a lot of fun. I will be at Synergy Pro Wrestling tomorrow night at the H2O Wrestling Center in Williamstown, New Jersey. One of the main matches is Matt Striker's going to be there.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so that should be very interesting.
I hate Matt Striker.
Yeah, I know you do.
My wife and I went to a show where he was at. I was like, I fucking hate this guy.
I've never met him, so I don't really have an opinion either way.
No, I hate his commentary. I think he's the worst. I put him and Josh Matthews in the same basket.
That's funny. But on that note, we're going to get out of here for tonight. Don't forget to check out our social media. Facebook.com Twitter, Instagrams, all at ASC Pods. Don't forget to check out B Plus Play Radio. Our entire library is on there. Go find them on Twitter at B Plus Radio. And don't forget to check out our sponsors over at the Too Sweet Magazine. You can find them on Twitter at Too Sweet Mag. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, give it a thumbs up, all of that stuff. And we'll see you back next week. Have a good night, everybody.
Peace.